Hello everybody, Russian Batman here, back with another video, and this is my very first CMF draft. And as you could very clearly hear by the music and see by the background, it is based off the show Is Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I really love this show. One of my first actually video on this channel is me showing off some customs I made of characters from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So this is quite a special video for me. And you know what? I don't want to waste any of your time. So let's just get straight into the characters. So first up here, we have Charlie, played by Charlie Day. You can see here, for Charlie and Mac, you'll see the resolution's a bit off. That's because these figures, I actually made them like a while ago. At least I took the screenshots on Mechabricks a while ago. So for some reason, it's way zoomed out. Sorry about that, but that's just how it kind of looks. I still think it looks good. So as you can see here, I gave him his kind of green jacket that he has on all of the time. He has, for his accessories, he has a bat and some barbed wire. In the show, he has a bat with barbed wire. He got it as a gift so he can kill rats with it. But instead here, I just decided to give them separately because it's not a bat barbed wire piece. And I thought, Lego would probably never make that, and I just gave it to him separately. But I'm really happy how he turns out. And since I mentioned Mac, let me show off Mac. So this is Mac, played by Rob McElhenney. You can see here the shirt one of the tricky things was choosing which outfits for the characters. I feel this Charlie was easy because he wears the same thing all the time, but Mac wasn't as easy. Now I wanted to give him one of his shirts without sleeves because his whole thing is he always wants to be kind of badass, and he thinks it's badass to not have sleeves. But actually, most of the time in the show, he does actually wear sleeves. So I had to find a shirt that he would wear that didn't have sleeves, and this is based off, I think, season 13 or something, where he becomes really buff again after he was fat. That's something else with Mac, is that his appearance out of any character in the show, I think, changes the most. Because like you see in the first season, his hairstyle is different, and then it changes to more slick back hair, which is what I choose here. Then he becomes super fat, and then he becomes super buff again, and then he goes back to kind of being normal. I don't know, but that was another tricky thing about Mac, but I'm still really happy how this figure turned out. For his accessory, I of course gave him a recolored coffee cup, and it has fight milk on it, which, if you don't know, is a reference to, I think the episode's the same name, I don't remember, but it's where Mac and Charlie try to make their own brand of energy drink. And it's made of crow's eggs and stuff. It's really horrible, and it doesn't work. It just makes everyone throw up, but they still buy it because they want to throw up all the... I honestly don't remember, but it was really funny. So I had to give him that accessory. All right, next up, let me show you guys Danny DeVito's character, Frank. I don't know why I sounded like another YouTuber. But this is Frank from the show. As you can see here, as the reference image, I have the meme where, a lot of people probably know the show from Danny DeVito. That's how I got introduced to the show, by seeing the memes. Now, you can see here, he has the two blasters, the two guns, and it's the scene where he's like, and I started blasting, So, he has one kind of modern style gun, one revolver, and the shirt he has is based off this scene, but it's also just kind of generally based off a shirt he wears a lot in the actual show. So it's not completely based off the meme, even though it kind of is completely based off the meme, but it's based off the fact he has a lot of guns. And and I'm really happy how this turns out. So since we're at Frank, let's show off Frank's illegitimate children. So first off, we have Dennis here. I am really happy how Dennis turned out. I'm really happy how his face turns out. I think it really captures the actor's likeness. And I think the hair is good as well, and the torso, and I really like it. All the legs are fairly generic. You'll notice in this CMF, there's no fancy leg printing or nothing. But it doesn't really need to have any fancy leg printing. They're kind of just generic people. And also, as you can see, for his accessory, I gave him, of course, I had to give him the sheet of paper with the Dennis system. Like, what other accessory could I give him? Like, there's literally nothing else I could do. I've seen some other people do Lego Dennis online, and they always give him this accessory, and I couldn't really give him anything else. I didn't write the full words on there, because, well, one, it'd be really tiny, and two, I don't think Lego would do that, because it's a whole system. It's, if you don't know, it's a reference to the episode, the Dennis system, where it's his system for manipulating women. And the episode is just really funny, and the whole show is really funny. But also, like, if you're gonna watch it, just make sure, just know it's not for kids. So if you're under 18, obviously ask your parents and whatnot. Be responsible. I'm not gonna, send a 12-year-old to go see it. I don't want to get yelled at by parents. So fair warning. Probably should have given the warning at the beginning. But let's move on to Dennis's sister, Deandra Reynolds. I don't remember the actress's name, but I do know the actress is actually married to Rob McElhenney, which is pretty funny because in the show they kind of hate each other. But here's Dee, the main female of the five. So you got the five gang. So this is the last member of the, kind of the gang, the people that own the bar. For now, I'm not as happy how she turned out. I do like her face print. I don't think her hair was the best choice. It was kind of hard to find a shorter kind of hair that still went kind of over your shoulders but didn't have the bang. So that was a bit tricky, but I'm still happy how this turned out. As you can see, she has her accessory is a microphone, which is a reference to when she did her comedy, tried to do her comedy skits and, completely failed. Her outfit, it's not really based off as an episode. It's based off actually several kind of promotional material. There's one where I saw her with a pink shirt, and I thought that was a bit more unique than, than giving her a blue or, whatever other shirt. And then also for her pants, the reason I gave her dual molded legs is because there was some promotional material where she was wearing boots, and I don't know what it was, but I don't know if she actually did. But I want to differentiate this character and make her a little bit more unique. So that is the main five all done. I'm really happy with that. Now let's get on to the other characters. There's 12 in total, so it's like a modern CMF draft. Next up, let me show you guys Artemis. Now I'm a little split on this one. I really like how I did the torso. I think her what's it called? Her jacket, or no, her kind of fluorescent shirt looks good. I'm happy with which hairpiece I chose. I'm not super happy with the face. I like the face, but I think she looks a little bit too old, but I still like how it looks. Artemis is Deanne. I think starts off as just one of Dee's friends. And then, and she has an apple with her because she enjoys partaking in activities relating with food and Frank. I will not elaborate any further. Next up, let me show you another female character. This is the waitress, which is Charlie's love interest, quote unquote. I say quote unquote because it's not a two-way love. It's a one-way kind of stalking, but it's still really funny in the show. So for the waitress, like I said, I'm not super happy how honestly, I don't think I'm that great at drawing minifigure female heads. So far, they haven't looked the best. I still like how it looked. I still think it looks good. I just don't think it looks exactly like the actress. And it's funny because the actress actually in real life is married to Charlie Day. So that's also another fun fact. So for her outfit, I decided to go with the outfit when she's actually working at a restaurant. Because before she works when you first meet her, she's working at a cafe, and she's not really a waitress. She's kind of like a cashier. So I decided to give her an outfit that actually shows her as a waitress. So she has the suspenders with the random designs on it. And she has a tray with a undisclosed, or it's apple juice. She has an apple juice, a cup of apple juice. And that's the thing with the accessories. I wanted to give them all accessories that kind of had to do with their character, at least for the main five. So, Next up, let me show you Charlie's mom. Charlie's mom, I'm really happy how this turns out. As you can see, for her accessory, she has a a baby doll. I tried to make sure it didn't look like an actual like baby, so I gave him kind of the blank eyes and the blank kind of smile, the blank face to show it that's a fake baby, not an actual naked baby. This, and I'm really happy how her face turns out, because she's supposed to look old, so I think it turns out pretty good. So yeah, I'm just like, what else am I? Oh, so the doll is a reference to the episode when Charlie gets how do I say this in a nice way? Charlie gets some no treatment when he was younger, and then she points to the doll and is like, where did the no happen? So, but don't worry, the no never happened. It was all just exaggerated. So, stay calm. Charlie did not get the no by, an older person. But yeah, that's what it's a reference to. So, some pretty darker stuff. But, I kind of had to put it in there. Next up, I want to show you guys the McPoyle brothers. I'm really happy how these two turned out. So there are separate figures. If this was an actual CMF, they would come separately. But I wanted to show them together because, one, they're the McPoyle brothers, they kind of have to be. And two, I forgot their individual names. You could leave them in the comments if you know, but I don't remember. But the big thing about them is, you see, the first one, I gave a gallon of milk, and the second one, I gave a glass of milk. So, kind of continuation. They love milk, and, they're part of this big family in the show called the McPoyles, which have a rivalry with the main gang. Everyone kind of has a rivalry with the main gang, you'll see. You see, the glass of milk uses the Harry Potter piece, but instead of using a transparent color in the middle, it uses a solid white. So I think it looks good. They both have their bathrobes, and I'm really actually happy how their face prints turned out. Alright, next up, I want to show you Mac's father. Yes, this is Mac's father. I'm really happy, like I said, how this guy turns out. I keep on saying that a lot. But for his accessory, I gave him a phone. And you see he has a prison outfit with dual molded arms and whatnot, and a little wristband. So he has this prison outfit on because he's in the most of the show, he's in prison. He gets out a few times, but then he very quickly goes back into prison. You can see here, I'm really, okay, I keep on saying how happy I am with some of these faces. This guy, I think I'm probably the most proud of, because I feel like I really captured the buggy eyes he has, because you'll notice in the show, he really opens his eyes super wide, and it's really creepy. So I want to get that across, and I think I did. He also has a teardrop tattoo, I think, on, I forget which side of the face he has it on, but one of the sides of the face. And then, yeah, so that is, that is he. Now, next up, last, but certainly not least, unless I'm forgetting anyone, which I am, I'll insert a thing at the end. We have Rickety Cricket. Oh, I saved this guy for last because out of, excluding the main five, I'm probably the most proud of this guy. He's the only one with an original hairpiece, which I drew. Just drew all by myself. The way I drew it is I first just, used the kind of the Danny DeVito head. And then just traced over it, ignoring the hair, gave him kind of a bald spot in the head, and just kind of drew the rest of the hair. And I think it looks really good. It really captures how he looks. Now, I said Mac is the character who changes the most, but I take that back. It's probably Cricket, because when you first meet him in the show, he's actually a priest. I know, this guy does not look like he was a priest, but he was a priest, right? Then he gets involved with the gang, and his life slowly spirals down. He becomes homeless. He becomes, and all this stuff. And half his face gets burnt off. It's crazy. So this is what I base it off when he first reveals that half his face got burnt off. He has the hoodie, kind of design, and he has kind of just this black, I don't want to say robe, but it's like, kind of like a robe or something, like a homeless robe. He has a little bit torn pants. There's also a dog with him, which is a reference to, there's an episode where he tries to go clean, and he has this like kind of romance side plot, but then at the very end, he realizes it's not a person, it's a dog, and he was just, kind of high the whole time. And also just, other activities with dogs do occur with him. Also, you can see here he has a needle. That's because he was actually a medical professional. Yeah, that's right. No other reason. He was definitely, yeah. I said he was a priest, but he was also a medical professional. Forgot to mention that. Yeah. So yeah, those are all 12 characters. Here they are all lined up. I didn't put like the numbering system for them, but yeah, I'm really proud of how this turns out. If you guys liked this CMF, please like. I worked hard on this. Please share it on if you want. Also, if you guys want to see more CMF drafts like this, please tell me. I will gladly do so. Cause honestly, they're not that. I said I worked hard. It was more tedious. It actually wasn't that hard to actually do. I found out. So now I realize why so many people just draw figures instead of making customs. Because in a lot of ways, it's a lot easier. But yeah, and like I said, I have some ideas for a potential series 2 if I ever want to do it. I have, still a lot of characters I haven't done. I haven't done the snail, haven't done the lawyer who thinks his hands are too small. And I feel there's a lot of other characters I could do and I could have a lot of fun with. So yeah, like I said, please like, subscribe, go if you want, viewer discretion is advised, but you can go check out It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I think one of the funniest shows out there. It's really inappropriate. Like you think, it's like way worse than, probably any other sitcom I've seen, like The Office or whatnot. But, yeah, like I said, just, and also more importantly than that, have a nice day and go watch the 2011 film Rango. Okay? Bye.